Well, a big turnout is expected in Gordon Lightfoot's hometown in central Ontario today to pay legacy and tribute to him. A public visitation is being held this afternoon in Orillia. CBC's Deanna Sumanak-Johnson is there with more. So, Deanna, Gordon Lightfoot was so beloved right across the country, but particularly where you are in Orillia. Describe the atmosphere there for us.
That's absolutely right. Gordon Lightfoot was a proud son of Orillia, Ontario. This is where he grew up. He was a gifted student and a gifted athlete, a track and field star. But of course, we know that music eventually won his heart. He was actually a child prodigy competing in Kiwanis competitions. And it all began here in Orillia. And you could say that Orillia stayed in his blood and was always present in his songwriting throughout his illustrious career. You talked about the fact that we're quite close to cottage country here. So the beauty of it is something that he wrote about a lot, those natural motifs that stayed in so many of his songs. Jim Cuddy from Blue Rodeo, I spoke to him a few days ago remarking on Gordon Lightfoot, and he said that Gordon once told him that there is no shame in writing about Canada, that the country he had seen around the Muskoka area, the cottage country in Canada, is some of the most beautiful he has seen anywhere in the world. And of course, this guy has toured around the world, and he made Canadians proud to talk about in songs, to illustrate and elevate our surrounding, our environment, our nature, and all of that began right here in Orillia. So you can really feel his spirit here. Yeah,
world renowned, but there's no place like home. Deanna, there's so many different ways that Gordon Lightfoot has been commemorated. There will be today as well. What else is being planned?
Well, just about an hour from now, a public visitation will begin at St. Paul's United Church. You can see the lineup behind me. Police people and security guards are securing the area. The street is closed off. I have counted about 120 people right before you and I started talking, and there's probably a few dozen more who have appeared since we've started talking. One gentleman here drove in from Cleveland, Ohio. Other people drove in from Guelph, from St. Catharines. These are cities in Ontario that it would require a decent drive to get here, at least a few hours, but that tells you the dedication. There are children in line who have known Gordon, who live nearby, and said that they used to see him, and he was quite friendly to them. So really, something that meant a lot to all these people. It's going to be a closed casket visitation. There's also 2 statues of Gordon Lightfoot in this town that have already had many bouquets of flowers and poetry there. And at Massey Hall in Toronto, the venue where he performed 170 times, there is a book of condolences. They call the Massey Hall the House of Gord.
The House of Gord. There you go. Deanna, so good to chat with you. That's the CBC's Deanna Sumanak-Johnson in Orillia, Ontario for us.